What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the quick platinum guide for Elden Ring. In this bonus episode, we are going to be covering the best early game farming spot that exists. So, with that being said, to get there, if you want to farm, we're going to warp here to Folly on the Lake and then travel up northwest to the Rose Church, which is right here on this rock. So let us warp to Folly on the Lake. And now this will be extremely useful to you if you, for whatever reason, were not able to get the Golden Scarab when I got it because you weren't powerful enough. Or if you just want to be OP for the rest of the game. You'll be able to level up very quickly by using this farming route. There's a couple things you have to do first before you can unlock it, namely a side quest. Now, there's an online version of this side quest and an offline version. I will be covering the offline version of this side quest so that everybody can do it regardless of network status. And this is completely optional. This is not required for Platinum. I will not be using this farming method for this run. So you can definitely do this without farming, and it really is up to you. So here we are. This is White Mask Varre. This is who we need to talk to. You want to say they didn't seem right?
The words are truly, I believe, even worse. That's the part. Oh.
And then he will give you these festering bloody fingers.
And if it drive high.
Now, if you want to do the online version, you would use those bloody fingers to invade. You don't have to even win the invasions. All you have to do is invade 3 times, and you can do the online version of this quest. I'm going to be demonstrating the offline version. And so what you need to do for that is we need both halves of the Dectus Medallion. So we have the first half, and I'm going to show you here. Just if you want to check to see if it's in your inventory, check your inventory here. And so let's see, check the first half of the medallion. First half of the Dectus Medallion we have. Where we got that, I showed this in the walkthrough episode. I believe it was episode 1. The first half of the Dectus Medallion is here in Fort Feroth. That's also where we got the Radagon Source Seal Talisman that we have equipped right now. So it's in this. If you want to go back and see where I got it, it is in this fort. Now what we need to do now is get the other half of the medallion, which is actually going to be in Fort Height. And we haven't gone in there yet. So in order for us to get that, I'm going to go and get that real quick. And you'll need to do this as well if you want to do the side quest, which will unlock the early farming spot. And using this farming method, I mean, you're going to get probably 30 to 40,000 runes per minute if you do it correctly. So that is an enormous amount of runes that you can use to your advantage to level up really high in a short amount of time. So just run past all these enemies. We don't need them. What we're really doing is we're just getting to the top of this fort here. And there's all kinds of enemies up in here, but clearing it out is going to do you no good. At least for this purpose. So we want to climb up this ladder. This guy might follow us, but that's okay. He's actually relatively strong. What we want is in this treasure chest. We got the other half of the Dectus Medallion, and this guy's going to come up and fight us, which is fine, but I'm not going to be able to warp until I kill him, so there we go. That's all it took. So what we're going to do now that we have both sides of the medallion is we are going to warp here to the main Academy Gate. And now that we have both sides of the medallion, we can actually use the Grand Lift to get up to the Altus Plateau, which is exactly what we need. And we're going to do everything that we need to do in the Altus Plateau in future episodes. But we're just going to kind of run through and do exactly what we need for this side quest for the time being. We're not going to unlock anything else while we're up there yet. But there is an invader that we have to kill. So if you go through that warp point that we just did, that'll get you to the Bellum Highway. Where we're going here is this is the Grand Lift that I just put a beacon on. So just follow this pathway straight. There's going to be a spot a little bit further down this pathway where there's going to be some catapults that are going to shoot some giant boulders at you. You're going to have to just run past those on your horse. Don't stop for anything. Just keep going. Run past everything. We just got to get to that Grand Lift so we can use it to get up top to the Altus Plateau. And yeah, up there's going to be an invader that we have to kill. And once we kill that invader, that will also satisfy Varre's quest. So we can go back to him, and then he will allow us to advance his quest line. As I said, alternatively, all you have to do, if you want to do this online, all you have to do is use those bloody fingers that he gave you. You have to use 3 of them. You don't even have to win. All you have to do is just trigger the invasion, and then talk to him again, and that will trigger the next step. But I wanted to show this as well for those of you who are going offline. And here are the catapults. Just make sure you're dodging as best as you can. If you get hit like I did at the beginning, as you saw, it's not the end of the world. Just get back on your horse and keep going. These guys just run straight past. And that in front of us is the Grand Lift. And again, in order to trigger this, you need both halves of the Dectus Medallion to use this lift. There is another way up through the Altus Plateau, and that's actually the way that we're going to go up there through the walkthrough, because in that alternate path is a boss that you need to kill for a trophy, for platinum. So we're not going to take this pathway up in the walkthrough itself. This is just for the side quest. For those of you who want to do the side quest for the easy farming. And if you have no intention to farm, you will not need to do this at all. You can just skip to the next video. This is a bonus episode for those of you who want to farm for whatever reason. Okay. Skip these cutscenes here. We are now on the Altus Plateau. Unfortunately, we can't see anything. All we're going to do is we're going to follow this path. I'm not going to unlock any of the map fragments now because I want to save everything for when we come up here. And for those of you who skipped this episode, I want to leave everything intact exploration-wise. We're just going to be traveling in this northeast direction. Just make sure you follow this path that I'm on right here. If you want to peel off and unlock a couple of graces early, it's not going to hurt you in any way. But I'm not going to unlock anything. Just to keep everything intact for the next couple of videos when we do explore this area for real. There's a grace right there. You can peel off and unlock that grace if you want. Just for our purposes, we're just going to keep following this path. There's a gold seed if you want to go in and grab that. And we're also going to run right past a map fragment as well, and you can go in and pick that up if you want. And that's going to maybe help a little bit with navigation. So there's your map fragment. I'm not picking that up yet either. So at the map fragment, that's kind of your indication to turn kind of northwest-ish. We're going to head down these cliffs. There we go. Run past this church. Now we're headed more straight north. Kind of avoid these dogs. I'm going to drop down here by this graveyard. And then go up these rocks. There's going to be a spirit spring jump right in front of us that you see. We're going to take that. Get up here. And then there's going to be some ruins up here called the Writhe Blood Ruins. That's where the invasion sign's at that we need to trigger. And we need to kill the invader to unlock the next step of the side quest here. And the invasion sign should be right here. I'm heading kind of northeast. We're in the Writhe Blood Ruins. Kind of right here on your map is where you want to be. See this spot? The red sign on the ground, you have to touch that. And then you can invade. And we need to kill this guy. And he is pretty strong. He does have some strong attacks. He uses the Beast Claw. He uses the Beast attacks. They do have some range and they can stagger you. So just be careful. And he also has that big ol'... See? He's got the big club that does quite a bit of damage. And yeah, that you see does quite a bit of damage. So I need to get away and heal. I'm gonna dodge his attack and do a special here. And do quite a bit of damage to him. Do another special. He's going to do that attack again. Heal up again. Dodge his attack. And then do a jump attack of my own. Finish him off here. So that is a bit of a challenging fight. Don't sweat it if it takes you a couple tries. So you get a Rune Arc and a Fur Calling Finger Remedy. But this is the guy that we have to kill for Varre, if we're not going to do invasions. Which again, doing the invasions requires being online. You get a Somber 6 for your trouble. We already have the Somber 6, I believe. We got to get out of here so we can warp back to Varre. These dogs are aggro to us, unfortunately, so that's going to mess up our ability to use our map and warp on out of here. Alright, let's see. As soon as it lets me use my map, I'm going to use my map and warp. There we go. Alright, so we're going to warp back here. Unfortunately, there's not a warp point right here at the Rose Church, but we're going to kind of take that same route that we took earlier to get to him. I'm going to put another beacon just for guidance. And once we're back, all we got to do is talk to him, and then he's going to give us an item that we need for the next part of his quest.
Oh, I'm glad. You have a... I wish to a night luminary... So... now.
So he gives us the Lord of Blood's favor.
Normally that...
So what we have to do now to progress this quest is we have to soak this in the blood of a maiden. Probably the closest one that we have access to is going to be here in the Weeping Peninsula if we warp to the Bridge of Sacrifice. We're actually going to have to kill an NPC. There's a couple of ways of doing this part, but this is probably the quickest way that we have access to, at least. So this is the lady we're going to need to kill. And this will not mess up any side quests required for Platinum. She'll try to shoot you back if you hit her, but a couple jump attacks should do her in. And now we have the Lord of Blood's favor that is soaked in Maiden's blood, which is what we need. If you don't want to do it this way, I've got enemies on me, so I can't use my map right now. I can reset everything though by using the Site of Grace. I can warp. Oh, there we go. Now it's let me warp. If you don't want to do that, there's other ways to do this. You can actually go up to this church up here. There is a maiden here that you can touch just in the church. She's already dead, and you can get the maiden's blood that way. You can also go over here to the 4 belfries. There's going to be an imbued stone sword key here that you can use to unlock a portal. At one of these belfries will take you back to the Chapel of Anticipation, which is where we started the game. And the Chapel of Anticipation is right here. And you go all the way back. You're going to face the Grafted Scion again. And then you go all the way back here. And then the room where you started in, there's a maiden. And you can touch that maiden and soak the thing in blood. That maiden's already dead as well. That's probably the longest of the 3. So I wouldn't recommend doing that one. But that is another way of tackling the side quest. But now that we have everything, we're going to go back here to the Folly on the Lake. And we're going to go back to the Rose Church. And then... White Mask Varre is going to give us another item that we need. And this item that he gives us, this next item that he gives us, is going to transport us to a very, very, very late game area. And in order to do this farming method, you're going to have a bow and some arrows or some long-ranged attack. Earlier in the guide, we did get a longbow and plenty of arrows. You're going to need these arrows for the farming route. And it is pretty much a little to no risk farming route, but you get an insane amount of runes for it. So go back here, talk to White Mask Varre.
And with this, a knight. Now, this...
He's going to cut our finger off.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth or something.
Can't skip it. All right.
Never forget, for it is what you have. Oh,
Talk to him again, and we get the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. That's what we need.
with the power I've gone, but you mustn't. The meeting must luminary. We must.
Okay, so what we need to do now is go back to our inventory. If you go to our key items, maybe it's actually our regular items here, our inventory, and here we go. Here it is, the Pure Blood the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. Now, if you use this, this will transport us to Mohgwyn's Palace, which, as I said, is a very, very, very late game area. The enemies here are extremely powerful, but we're going to be running past just about everything. Up there, if you want to get the map, that's where the map is. I'm not going to be getting the map again to preserve kind of the integrity of the playthrough when we actually get there. What you want to do is get on your horse. You want to run straight through this area. There's going to be some stuff that summons that will be very powerful if you're not quick. So just make sure you're on the move. And then what we want to do is kind of hug the outside of these trees and stay along this wall here. Don't go down into that cave, but just kind of hug the wall here to the left. And then eventually you'll see this upward slope. I'm going to stay riding. Avoid these guys. They're very strong. They'll kill you quickly if you're not careful. Eventually we're going to get to a site of grace up here. So we're going to unlock this site of grace and rest at it to reset the enemies. And this is where our farming spot is at, okay? So once you've rested, pull out your bow, get it ready. Now what you want to do is you want to run to this rock right here next to this guy. He's not going to hurt you as long as you don't bug him. But as soon as you pull out your bow, shoot this bird that's kind of roaming around. Hopefully we have enough range because I did take a second before I tried shooting at him. There we go. And he should run right off this cliff. And as soon as he falls down, it will give you a ton of runes. 13,000 runes because you have the gold scarab equipped. All you have to do is rest at the grace and rinse and repeat. Let's go right on this rock next to this guy. Shoot the bird. He will run off the edge. Fall to his death. And we got another 13,000 runes for our trouble. And so you can just do this over and over and over again to your heart's content. I mean, you can easily get up into the hundreds, 200s, probably within an hour if you wanted to. And this will make the rest of this walkthrough a cinch if you're that high level. And you can do just about anything you want. You can equip just about anything you want. You're not going to worry about your stats at that point, really, for the most part. And that will help you enormously. Again, it's not required by any stretch. This is why I'm calling this a bonus episode. I'm not including this as a main episode of the walkthrough. But at the same time, it will be useful to you. I will not be using a farming method or any of these runes that I've gotten just now in the main route. I'm going to show you can do it without it. So don't worry about it if you don't want to farm. But if you do, the opportunity is here. So for you to take it if you so choose. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this is helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.